Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is Bloodthirsty Thursday. Yes, folks, it is almost Friday. Yes, yes, yes. First and foremost, I do hope each and every one of you are having a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life is too short as is. Please do like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing each and every one of you every Monday through Friday, both new faces and old. And then also, last but not least, do check out the description box for more information on the daily film, such as your brief synopsis, your starring cast, your director, the runtime of the cut I am watching, along with an MPAA rating if there is one, and then some trivia if I find anything worthwhile of mentioning, and then of course a link for a trailer or a scene from the movie. So there's a little bit of extra information in there for you so you can get a better taste of it, and that way it'll help you decide if you want to watch it or not, one of those kind of things. Anyways, now that I got all that out of that beginning, the intro out of the way, let's get on to the movie of the day. This one came out back in 1974. It is none other than Thriller. They call her One Eye, or Thriller, A Cruel Picture, which this version here is the A Cruel Picture version. This is where to go if you want to see it completely uncut. This one is the entire movie, minus there is X-rated porno insertions in this one, and the eye cut scene is a few frames longer than this one on here. So there is a little bit of difference between this. I believe there is. Let's see here. The one I'm reviewing is the Cruel Picture version, which runs at an hour and 47 minutes, and then the other one runs at an hour and 44 minutes. So there is at least there's a 3-minute gap in between there. So you got a little bit of stuff cut from it, and it is mostly, I will say, it is mostly XXX insertions, both vaginal and anal. So you get that in there. It doesn't really add anything to the movie. It doesn't really take anything away either, in my opinion. It's just there to be there, to pad the runtime. That is one thing I believe why it's there, because otherwise this movie would have been a lot shorter if they would have stuck with this version and then cut out the slow motion stuff. It would have been a lot shorter. I think the slow motion gags get a little old and a little tiresome when you get towards the end of this movie, or at least the last couple kills. You're kind of like, okay, all right, slow motion, cool, whatever. But it is still a very, very, very good movie. I highly recommend this one. Now, this is, like I said, this is the Cruel Picture version. This one has the special features on it. It's got the uncut, uncensored version, original Swedish language with optional English subtitles, still galleries, original TV spot and trailers, outtakes, alternate labor harbor fight sequence, which is reconstructed from rare vault materials, a lab mistake, which has rare photos detailing the unused fight scene in there, and then we got the story of it's called Thriller, the story in pictures, the actor and actress filmography, and then there's also chapter selections, whatever. That you all have on this release right here, which is a standard issue pressed DVD, just to let you know. And there is zero reversible artwork on both of these. As far as what you got on here for special features, you got a trailer in linear notes, and that is all you have on the one they call her One Eye release. So this one, the limited edition, is the way to go. Alright, now I got that out of the way. Let's get on to what it's about. Let's see. It's about a girl who is, it starts off right away with her being basically taken advantage of by this really creepy old man who's kind of like a vagrant type. He ends up molesting her, and she becomes a mute due to the the circumstances of the trauma from it, she becomes a mute, and then you see him get arrested, but the guy basically gets off scot-free. He doesn't really even, he spent like probably a night in jail, if that, and then no prison sentence or no nothing whatsoever. The guy got off scot-free. So it does start off on a really bitter note, just to let you know. You fast forward it to later, and you see that her father is it comes by to stop her from doing some daily work. It's fast forwarded many years later. I'm not 100% how old she's supposed to be in the movie, but I looked up her actual age, and she was 23 years old. So it's not like she was a minor or anything like that when she made this. I'm not 100% what age she's being portrayed as. So keep that in mind. She is a very beautiful girl. I will give her that. She's got a very unique look, and I really like it. She's got a banging body too on top of it. My Lanta. But she is basically she goes to get on a bus ride to go to one of her doctor's appointments, and she misses the bus. This weird guy comes along, played by Heinz Hopf, who basically takes her into town, decides he's going to wine and dine her, and then takes her back to his place. He gives her some more wine, which in turn she passes out because she has been drugged, essentially. The Heinz Hopf character is a real piece of shit in this. Like, he's one of those characters that you really just want to sock in the mouth. He calls over one of his buddies who is a doctor type. He then force administrates some top shelf medical grade heroin into her system at that moment, and they hook her through a few days' time, and that's their way of keeping her there at the place where she's at, which in turn she has basically signed her life away to this Heinz Hopf character to basically be a prostitute for this guy and for his clients that come in, which the clients range from a younger dude, I'm guessing he's probably in his 20s, to a middle-aged man that is into some really kinky stuff, which they show him that he likes to grab her Frigga is her name, played by Christina Lindberg. I forgot what her name was for a second. The very beautiful Christina Lindberg. He grabs her by the throat and is taking all these very aggressive pictures of her in this manner. It's kind of dark. It's a really hard scene to get through if you have issues with women being taken advantage of in that way, shape, or form. It can be a very tough watch for you. Her very first client that comes in, she decides she's going to thrash him. She scratches his face from top to bottom with both of her hands, and in turn scars him, and he freaks out, as any normal person would, even though they're not normal because they are seeing a prostitute in this manner, basically white slave, sexual slaves. One of those. That's what she is, essentially. She's a sex slave. White slave trading, that's what they called it. But anyways, her first client, she gets, and she thrashes his face pretty darn bad. Our Heinz Hopf character, or Heinz Hopf, Heinz Hoff decides he's going to come in and he's going to punish her for her deed. And this is where the term, why they call her One Eye, because he goes in and slices her eye with a scalpel. Now that scene is very, very, very intense in ways, because the buildup of it is very, very well done, very well. Vibenius or Vibenius, however it's pronounced. I'm probably murdered it either way. He does a very good job building up the suspense of that scene as he is bringing the scalpel closer and closer and closer and closer to her eye, and then eventually you see the scalpel enter the eyeball, and it is very, very quick, but you get a very good idea of what happens, and the way they pulled that off is just insane. They were able to use a real life corpse, not real live corpse, but a real life corpse. So they are. He is the Bo Vibenius is able to pull that gag off very, very well. It definitely is one that sticks with you. It's brutal. But you fast forward to that a little further. There's another girl that is involved in this as well. Her and Frigga become friends. In other words, they eventually, what they do is they allow Frigga to have free days, to where she's able to go out and about, and she eventually gets to the point to where she wants to learn how to defend herself physically with both hand to hand, with weapons, with guns. She wants to learn how to drive. She wants to basically become a unstoppable killing machine, and she succeeds at that. And she is the revenge part of this is awesome. So she eventually, at some point, what sets her over the edge is they have fabricated this letter to send to Frigga's parents, and it talks about how she no longer wants to be under their control. She's a big girl now. She wants to live her life the way she wants to live it, so on and so forth. So it really, really devastates the parents in this. She decides at one point she's going to go visit them, and when she goes to visit them, she finds out that both of them have committed suicide together. Did a little suicide pact. They poison themselves, and off they go to Dream World. So she goes back to where she's being held, essentially, and the other girl has been brutally murdered. Like, you don't see it happen, but you see the aftermath of her bed. Like, the corpse is gone at that moment. Like, you don't see the corpse, but the bed is absolutely covered in blood, and she picks up the pillowcase and the sheets at one point, and it is just dribbling, just pouring blood off of it, that there's so much on there. And that is finally when she when she snaps, and she becomes hooked up with this drug dealer along the way, who is able to hook her up with these drugs so she can survive out there without being stuck under the guise of the Heinz Hoff character anymore, because she wants to kill him, and she goes through and kills all of her clients, starting with her very first, and then eventually there's like I said, there's the guy that is very violent with her, and then there's a woman, and she goes after all three of these people, and then eventually makes her way to Heinz Hoff's character. Very, very, very well done. I can't say anything bad about it on that end. Now, as far as any kind of ratings would go on a technical side, this thing's done really, really, really well. I can't say anything that is a Debbie Downer about it, other than the slow motion stuff does get a little repetitious, because every death in here is done slow motion style, very artistically done in a slow motion style, but it is pulled off rather well. You have some very fun sound score going on with there. Some fun sound effects as well. The editing is nice and on point. The momentum never shifts in a bad way or way, shape, or form at all in this one. It stays pretty even keel. It keeps you enthralled from beginning to end. It is a very, very captivating film. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 on a technical side because it is done so well. Now, as far as an entertainment side goes, like I said, it's entertaining from beginning to end. You cannot wait to see her finally pull off her revenge in this, because when she does, it is just absolutely perfect in ways. Especially when she gets down to the very final person, the Heinz Hopf character, and how that final showdown goes between them. It is just absolutely epic. She is very, very wise at what she does. She does not waste anything by having pointless dialogue, obviously, because she's a mute, but she doesn't waste anything as far as physical movements go. Everything is a fluent movement, has a reason, it's all about forward momentum with this one, and it does deliver. So I really, really, really recommend this one, guys. I say go out and check it out. I think it's on Prime. It's probably on, might be on Tubi. I don't know, but it is definitely out there for you guys to check out. I would really, really love either Synapse to do a nice new Blu-ray of this, or see somebody else like a Vinegar Syndrome or a Severin pick this one up, because I think this would be just an amazing title to add to theirs. Heck, I think even Arrow would do some justice to this. I think it deserves something bigger and better at this point. Something with both versions combined into it, so you don't have to buy two different copies to get your entertainment. Not that there's anything wrong with either one of these. It's just I purchased this one first and not knowing about this one, and then so I went through and I had to double dip and make sure I got the 100% uncut version. Cruel picture. All right, guys. Love your faces. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Tomorrow I got a monster lined up for you, one that I absolutely love. It's not a monster movie. The guy in it is an absolute monster, and just the devastating things he does to people. Eesh. All right, guys. Love your faces, and tune in tomorrow. Peace.